Hello and welcome to this month's subscriber video. This month I have what might be the best coffee we have ever sent you. It is from one of our favourite Colombian coffee producers, Mauricio Shattah. It's a new variety we've never sent you before, a Wush Wush, and it's got probably the most complicated process of any coffee we've ever sent you either, and it's absolutely delicious. So let's get on and I'll make a brew. Okay, I am back and I have made my tiny little brew today. A little brew because the coffee's just so good. I want to have as many cups as possible, and it's very fancy, so I've got to make sure I enjoy it. Right, I've got so much stuff to tell you about the Wush Wush, so I'm going to break it down by the pack. So number one, the producer is Mauricio Shattah. Now, we've had Mauricio's coffee for a lot of years now. We started with the first coffee we got from him, which was a red geisha, which I think was a bit of a game changer for tailors. It was probably the best coffee that some of us have ever drunk. And then we continued each year to have some more coffees. We've had some more geishas from him. Last year we bought a Cedra, which is a really rare variety from him, which we'll use for the UKBC. So we're a huge fan of Mauricio. And a little bit of background on Mauricio: he used to be a brain surgeon, and then he decided he wanted to become a coffee producer, and he spent a lot of years finding the perfect farm to grow coffee. And then he applied his scientific knowledge to processing of coffee, and it's his processing that really sets his coffee above a lot of other people's, because he takes his kind of scientific background and knowledge and applies that to things like fermentation to make really delicious coffee. So number one, that is the producer. So second thing, the process, which I told you was very complex. So this is a double staggered anaerobic black honey. Now, what that means is, so firstly, when Mauricio processes coffee, he starts by sterilising it and getting rid of a lot of the bacteria. So when he puts it into the fermentation tanks, he can really control the bacteria that's in there, which causes the fermentation. So first part is the sterilisation, and then he puts the coffee cherries into a barrel to ferment, and they stay there for 48 hours. And that barrel is anaerobic, so there's a lid on it, so no oxygen. So after 48 hours, they're taken out and they're depulped. And they're put back in the barrel again. So this is the double staggered part of it. And that second fermentation is where they've been depulped. So that's the black honey part of the process. And again, that's in an anaerobic environment. And then finally, they're taken out of there after a second 48 hours, and they're dried for 4 to 6 weeks on raised beds. And those raised beds are in a protected environment. So they're in the dark and they've only got UV light and things like that. So very meticulous, and loads of complexity to the process, which is one of the reasons that it's absolutely delicious. The last thing to say on that process is that it's the long drying period that really gives us like a syrupy body. So yeah, each part of that adds a different layer of complexity to the flavours, and that's why it's so complex and so delicious. So Mauricio, double staggered anaerobic black honey, Wush Wush. So we've never sent you a Wush Wush before, and a lot of people won't have tried a Wush Wush because it's a very rare variety. It's a bit like a geisha in the fact that it's quite difficult to grow, it's low yield, but it also has very complex flavours. And like a geisha, it started out in Ethiopia, and now people are cultivating it across Central America. This one was grown by Mauricio in Colombia, which I don't think I've mentioned yet. So I think that's, yeah, I think I have covered all of it except for the drinking bit, which is obviously my favourite bit. Brilliant. So it's so good. We have put, or Will has written, the tasting notes of plum, strawberry daiquiri and molasses. So again, like that syrupiness and sweetness is kind of like the molasses flavours. And you can taste a bit of the fermentation there. So it's got some elements of like a natural coffee, some kind of funkiness. But yeah, really, really complex. So nice. Just really, really good. If you were to buy a bag of this, it would set you back £28. So that kind of gives you an idea of the level that this coffee is at. So pretty special one for you to get to try. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And yeah, go ahead, enjoy, let us know what you think of it. Thanks so much, and I will see you again next time.